Sky's case seems simple on the surface. A red light violation, 8 unpaid parking tickets, and a few questions about ownership of an older vehicle. But as often happens in real courtrooms, simplicity is an illusion. The first charge against Sky, running a red light at the intersection of North Main Street and Branch Avenue. The evidence, a camera still. The timestamp shows a fraction of a second's delay. Good morning. You're charged with going through a red light on North Main Street and Branch Avenue. I don't remember that. Her voice is uncertain, her tone sincere. It's not the defiance of someone evading responsibility, but the hesitation of someone overwhelmed. You live on Branch Avenue, yes? Yes. And this was your Toyota? Yes. What seems like a minor infraction soon becomes part of a larger story. As the judge flips through the file, another set of tickets emerges, this time linked to a Cadillac, a car that Sky no longer owns. The courtroom grows quiet as the judge continues. You also have tickets on a Cadillac. You owned the Cadillac as well, right? I did, a year ago, but I don't have it anymore, Sky explains. It was stolen. I never got it back. That statement, "It was stolen," shifts the case entirely. If true, Sky may not be liable for the violations linked to that vehicle, but the law demands evidence. Did you file a police report? Asks the judge. Yes. Do you have a copy? Yes. I can show it to Inspector Carrigan. This is a turning point. The mention of a filed police report introduces the element of reasonable doubt, a foundational concept in both criminal and civil proceedings. While this is a traffic violation case, the same principle applies. The burden of proof lies with the city. If Sky's vehicle was indeed stolen before the tickets were issued, she cannot legally or morally be held responsible for those citations. When asked about her work, Sky responds softly, "Yes, I'm a housekeeper at a nursing home, and I'm starting a new job next week, driving the shuttle for the elderly and disabled patients who can't take themselves to the hospital." The judge nods. Good for you. It's a brief exchange, but in those words lies the unspoken acknowledgement of effort, the dignity of work, even amidst personal struggle. She's not a habitual offender. She's a working woman, trying to make ends meet, trying to do good in her community. And then, the moment that turns the courtroom from procedural to personal. The judge leans forward, a faint smile at the corners of his mouth. "Let me ask you something," he says. "Before you came to court this morning, you put on that shirt. What were you thinking?" Sky looks puzzled. "I was trying to be on time. I just grabbed the first shirt I saw. It was laying on my bed." The judge raises an eyebrow. "There's a number of things going through my mind," he says, half teasing, half instructive. "Did you know you had that shirt on? Did you mean to be disrespectful? Or was it just bad luck?" The judge's question may seem lighthearted, but within it lies a subtle reminder of courtroom decorum, that appearances, even accidental ones, carry meaning in the formal setting of law. Sky's defense is simple and believable. "This isn't even my shirt," she admits. "It's my mom's. I didn't realize." The courtroom laughs softly. The tension lifts. In moments like this, justice reveals its human side. Judge Frank's humor doesn't mock, it disarms. He uses levity not to humiliate, but to restore calm, especially for defendants unfamiliar with the intimidating environment of a courtroom. In judicial ethics, this practice aligns with what is known as judicial temperament. A judge must display patience, dignity, and courtesy, ensuring that justice is both done and seen to be done. By acknowledging Sky's nervousness and using humor to diffuse tension, the judge maintains the courtroom's authority while preserving the humanity of its participants. This is not leniency, it's balance. The case now hinges on the stolen Cadillac. Inspector Kerrigan confirms. The vehicle, a Cadillac, was reported stolen on September 12, 2021, and recovered on October 26, 2021. The tickets in question were issued during that period. Under municipal traffic law, liability for parking and traffic violations typically attaches to the registered owner of the vehicle. However, Section 1710 of the City Traffic Ordinance provides an exception. If a vehicle was reported stolen prior to the issuance of a citation and proper police documentation is provided, the registered owner shall not be held liable. By providing a verifiable police report, Skye fulfills the evidentiary burden of proof. Her responsibility, legally speaking, ends where theft begins. The judge listens, nodding slowly. His face carries the weight of experience. Thousands of similar cases, each one unique in its own right. He looks at Skye and says softly, "At least I know you were thinking about something." The courtroom laughs again, not mockingly, but warmly. In this subtle exchange, we see a rare moment of judicial empathy. The law can be rigid, but justice often lies in understanding, the ability to see the person behind the paperwork. Skye, still a bit embarrassed, thanks the judge. "You're funnier than all the comedians I watch." The judge chuckles. "You're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to say, 'Judge, you're compassionate, understanding, you do justice, you do what's right.' That's what I try to do." This dialogue is more than comic relief. It's a mirror of public trust in the judiciary, that even in minor cases, the court's role extends beyond punishment. It's about restoration, fairness, and the idea that every individual deserves to be heard, not hurried, not humiliated. In formal legal doctrine, Judge Frank's decision reflects principles from restorative justice and judicial discretion. Rather than imposing mechanical penalties, he exercises judgment, informed by law, guided by conscience. Skye provided a valid police report, which legally absolves her from liability for the Cadillac tickets. The city, having no contrary evidence, cannot sustain its claim. The judge's decision to dismiss the red light ticket, or at least treat it leniently, demonstrates proportionality, a cornerstone of modern jurisprudence. By blending humor and empathy, the court upholds procedural fairness, ensuring that justice is not only administered, but perceived as humane and impartial. The law's rigidity often meets life's unpredictability. In Skye's case, justice required more than enforcement. It required understanding. As the hearing concludes, the judge offers one last piece of advice, lighthearted, yet symbolic. "As soon as you get home, change the shirt," he says. "Don't walk around like that." Skye smiles, embarrassed but relieved. It's more than a comment on attire. It's a metaphor for redemption. Change the shirt. Change the moment. Start again. The courtroom disperses, but for Skye, it's not just the end of a case, it's a quiet vindication. From a jurisprudential standpoint, Skye was lucky underscores three essential dimensions of municipal justice. The court ensured all facts were verified before passing judgment, honoring the due process principle. Recognizing the vehicle theft as a mitigating factor reflects a balance between strict law enforcement and individual equity. The judge's conversational tone reaffirms that compassion is not weakness. It is a judicial strength. In modern legal scholarship, this case exemplifies the therapeutic jurisprudence approach, where courts function not only as arbiters of law, but as spaces of healing, understanding, and moral reflection. In a world where courts often seem distant, cold, and bureaucratic, this small courtroom in Providence tells a different story. A story of fairness over formality. Brie, of compassion over condemnation. Of justice, not as punishment, but as perspective. Skye walked into court with the weight of misunderstanding and a few parking tickets. She walked out with something far greater, the reassurance that justice still listens. RH2H2, justice in its truest sense is not merely about the law. It's about understanding the lives behind the cases, the people behind the paperwork. Sometimes, justice isn't written in verdicts. Sometimes it's spoken softly, in the words of a judge who says, "Change the shirt, you're free to go."